Well, hello and welcome to Between Gripply's Top 5 Most Wanted Space Aliens for LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed. Now, I decided to do something a little bit different for space. I am personally a really big fan of the space theme in LEGO, but I will admit I kind of rank things differently depending on whether or not it has aliens and how cool the aliens are. Like, the aliens might be the ones I would pick for a theme as being cool, but the humans were kind of lame, whatever. So I thought I'd probably split them up so I can be a little bit more fair to lots of the older themes that didn't have aliens, because I'm kind of a big fan of some cool alien designs and might would pick them, especially since they're kind of lacking as a tag currently in the game. So we're going to start off with my top 5 most wanted space aliens. First we have the Honorary Mentions. These are the aliens from Alien Conquest. Now I know we have Gorwell in the game. I kind of really like that fig, just unlocked it, yay. Thank you for the anniversary event. But it's not really what I think of when I think of the theme. When I think of the theme, I think of the humans, which were I think really cool, and the aliens, which are these 4 people here in front of you. There is, from left to right, the Alien Commander, Alien Pilot, Alien Trooper, and Alien Cyborg / Alien Commando. I think he had a different name depending on which country you bought him in. I kind of like the name Alien Commander a little bit cooler than just Cyborg. Sounds a little bit more fitting of a title than just, yeah, he's a cyborg. But I kind of would have wanted these for the actual alien tag. I like what they did with Gorwell in the game, and I am super happy to have them and look forward to using them because they are pretty cool design. But I would have personally liked to see these guys. But there's just so much else missing from the game. I'll take Gorwell as the Alien Conquest representative and add in some other people. That's why they here as an honorary mention. So while I would prefer them, I think other themes deserve to get in the game more than another one from this one. And number 5, we have the Life on Mars aliens. Now this was a theme a little bit before my time. I had a friend that was kind of into this one. They've gotten to Mars mission. I was more Mars mission than Life on Mars. But they are both, I say, kind of similar. These minifigs, air quotes, I know if you got them minifig now, a little bit different. Really remind me of the aliens from not Alien Conquest, from Mars mission. And the human stuff kind of reminded me a bit of them. They had like a lot of very similar similarities with some of the sets, like the human base was almost kind of like the exact same as the alien base, and they both had like a track set. But I think it'd be very cool to have them in the game, since we have put in the Mars mission as well. It could be a fun kind of crossover thing there, have them meet. Also think it'd be cool maybe to have a whole theme or tag in the game just called Mars for some of the themes that was set on there. You could have them meet up. I think it'd be pretty cool. But as for these guys, they did a little bit of everything. Some of them was spies, double agents sent from the bad aliens that were living off in a canyon somewhere or something. So I see you could have them like a little bit of everything. I could see them being a support. I could see them being a healer, especially that one on the right. But I'm just judging them based off the colors. Tanks, the one there on the left from the right side, with that thing on his chest, kind of makes it think of like he might have like a shield on him. The blue one's like headpiece with all that stuff on, like he's wearing like a pretty sophisticated helmet. I think there's just like a whole bunch of really cool things you could do there with all of these, making maybe a little bit of any theme, or any like tag, or sorry, any role, attacker, support, tank, healer, anything to kind of fill out both space and the alien tag. As for what tags I'd give them, of course I would give them space, alien, maybe techie. Some of the stuff looks kind of techie. Don't know if they'd actually do that for them in the game or not, so that was kind of like a little bit of an iffy category there. Personally, I'd love to see them get the Mars tag, though that's just one I made up myself, but I'll do a video on it eventually. But I think that one could actually work rather well in this game. Assuming they added some more stuff in, I could see that being a little bit bigger than some of the other space sub-tags right now. I can also see them doing a mining thing. Also, another thing I'm going to do another video on at a later point. But I feel like we have enough stuff that deals with kind of like mining. You might have an interesting sub-tag for all the people who kind of mine this. I believe all these guys kind of did some space mining at some point, kind of like they did later on with Mars mission. So maybe kind of add that in there. It might be kind of fun having these guys on the same team as Clay and Iggy, some stuff like that. Number 4 is the Space Police 3 Black Hole Gang. Now, these were some, like, space bikers for the most part, which I thought was really cool. They were led by, I believe it was like Brick Daddy, Brick Father, something like that. Kind of space pimp mixed with the Godfather. He's up there, the top left. He'd probably be my number 1 pick for this just because he's like a space pimp, and that would be a cool thing to add into the game. But his lackeys would also be pretty cool too. Bikers, especially from space, that are like interesting aliens with like very unique designs, is pretty cool. I might do another video at a later point breaking down which ones I'd want from this the most, but really that's just so different. I feel like it was very hard to just pick one, I guess, besides Space Pimp, because Space Pimp. But like, there's just so much here. There's so much you could work with depending on what role you'd want them to fit in, because I feel like maybe besides Healer, you could kind of fit somebody into any of the roles. Personally, I feel like the Space Pimp would probably be support, tell other people what to do, kind of buff them, almost like Gorwell, where she has them target a random fig, have him kind of do something like that. Guy next to him, honestly don't remember his name, probably have him be an attacker, or a maybe of a tank. He kind of looks like he might be a little bit beefier than some of the other ones. Next up is Jolson. He'd probably just be like an attacker, really. Like he'd bite somebody, or maybe roll up into a ball and roll into them or cut them. Next up you had the cool Red Skull Twin. I don't remember his actual name, but it's the Skull Twin's recolored, which I thought looked way cooler. Probably another attacker too, like he'd like to do some damage to somebody. Cranks is just a space biker, pretty cool, probably be an attacker. Snake, another like space biker, probably an attacker. Frenzy, I don't know what he is, reptile, plant, something, has 4 arms. I think he'd be a cool one to add in. He's like, I feel like a classic 4-armed figure before they did like the Garmadon approach. Would love to see him maybe in the game doing something like Gold. Would be kind of funny. Then you have Squidtron. He's Squidtron. I feel like he would, when he runs or something with his tongue flapping out. Also has suction cup feet, I believe. And he had like a space pit shop, or pit stops. People could bring in the space bikes to get fixed up. Maybe it was a chop shop. I don't know. Maybe you could have him be the healer or something. I don't know. He might be the mechanic healer. I don't know. Does that count? Who knows? But for all these figures, they would be, of course, space alien. Probably all of them would be wanted, especially Jason or Jolson, because I believe he's actually wearing a prison jumpsuit, so he's like just recently escaped from prison. And space bikers, they all feel like they'd kind of be probably wanted to some degree. I know wanted seem to be reserved more for like the big bads or the ones that escaped from like prison. Like how you have Redbeard has wanted, but not all the other pirates. But I kind of feel like all these guys would be wanted, especially with all the run-ins with police. Another interesting thing, and I don't think I actually included this fig here because it was just like a recoloring of Cranks, and I believe Cranks to me is a lot cooler because more space biker. The other one was like it was just a lime green version of his head, but I think he had like a Blacktron torso or something, so there's some little light connection here between Space Police 3's aliens and the Black Hole Gang and Blacktron. It's a little bit light there, but I don't know, maybe if you included him, you might could also give him a Blacktron tag. I guess it depends how faithful you are being. I believe there was a couple little references to Blacktron sprinkled throughout this theme that you might could add in. Could be kind of a little interesting, add in a couple more tags, grow the theme out a little bit more, grow that tag out, because there's kind of not too much more to add to Blacktron without kind of doing some stretches. So I think that could be kind of cool. But yeah, this is a theme I thought had some very cool aliens, and I could probably just do a whole video, and I will be doing some point, of just these aliens, because they might could have taken up lots of positions on this countdown if I was just picking them, because like Space Pimp would have to be number 1. He's Space Pimp. Who wouldn't want him in the game? Also, just to add some more stuff to him, I'd probably have him also have some termination stacks similar to Yuppie, because he'd kind of be like a space Yuppie, and also probably have them team up in the story at some point. I think that would be really cool. Number 3, we have Galaxy Squad Aliens. These were the, I guess, later bug-designed aliens that LEGO released. After the Insectoids line, I thought this one did like a lot better job at doing this. I mean, of course, it was like, I don't know, 15 years later, so of course Lego has some like better building styles, more bricks, all that kind of stuff by then. But I think these would be a very cool one to see in the game. At the bottom you have like the mosquito one, you have the beetle. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a mantis, but he has like spike claws. I don't know, a very cool weapon. And then you had like the reddish brown beetle general or whatever. I don't know. He was extra special. The only one that was that color. Thought he was kind of interesting. And the top there you have like a baby alien scorpion and wasp. There was a piece they used a bunch. Same piece. I don't know if you can see the very bottom of the scorpion's like mouth. There's like some red eyes. That's the if you flip it over, it'd be the mosquito or like wasp one, which I thought was a very cool thing. I would love to see them involved somehow in some of their attacks. But for what tags they would be, of course, space alien, that's kind of it. I don't think wanted really counts, because they were just kind of space aliens, evil space aliens, and then, I don't know, maybe some kind of bug tag that would fit with most things in the game, but I guess it would work for, maybe give it to Locust, and you have some kind of interesting team up here, maybe like a Chima spider person later? I don't know. A little bit of a stretch there. But as for roles, the mosquito would probably be an attacker. Maybe support, just like speed buffs, but probably just an attacker, like a quick attacker. The beetle, I can see him being an attacker or a tank. Not saying that we need another alien tank. We've just one of the two options we have currently for aliens, but I don't know. He just seems like he'd be a little bit beefier because he's, I mean, a beetle. Beetle seems kind of tough. So maybe have him be something like that. The mantis would probably be an attacker. Although I also see him maybe being like a tank that does like some retaliate, payback. Maybe even give him like a thorns thing. So it's a little bit maybe better than the payback stack, or a little bit different than the payback stack. Like every time you get attacked, it does some damage too, because he just has all these spikes everywhere. So something interesting to add in. Maybe do like some anti-stealth stuff. And then for the like Commander Beetle, probably an attacker with that big old gun in his hands. May also be a tank. I don't know, maybe you could include him, but I don't know if I would super pick him over the, I don't know, more greenish tan ones, because that's what I kind of think of more when I think of the theme, than that one particular different colored alien. But I would love to see his weapon be used at some point in it. And I think these would just look really cool to have in the game. Lots more detailed, newer aliens, and they definitely stand out as being something special. And they'd be kind of fun. But I also have fun lines in the story. I like to kind of pick some stuff who I think would be fun to add in the story. I think these guys would be kind of fun. Next up, at number 2, we have the UFO Aliens. There's a picture of them over there on the left. It was a classic UFO-styled theme. The predecessor to Insectoids, and I'm honestly kind of surprised they picked Insectoids over this. Personal opinion, I think the design for the alien bugs, ships, and all that stuff looked a whole lot better. For the Galaxy Squad, which was the bug ones from the last one we just looked at, although of course like I said in that one they were much newer, I just kind of thought they would choose this one because to me this is a very classic, very cool helmets, very cool shoulder pads, cool coloring, very interesting looking faces. Like I like all of them. They'll probably pick the bottom left and top right ones. I don't know, I just like that different color for the helmet and like shoulder pads there. I think that just looks a little bit cool, although I'm also a sucker for blue, so I'd probably maybe pick the blue one. But I think they all look kind of cool. I think that bottom right is just kind of the one on the bottom left, just with a different helmet and those shoulder pads. I think these would be pretty cool. Definitely have a very cool design. I'd probably just put them in the game as basically a Locust 2.0, just with like different stuff. Have them bring in like old school salsas and other things to do things with, because it's basically the same. Like I said, I would have chose them first. But probably that, I don't know, that they just look so beefy with their armor. It feels weird if they wouldn't be a tank. Maybe some sort of weird kind of support mix where it's like they basically should be kind of a tank like Go-Go, but they aren't tagged a tank, but they do some like tanking stuff. Although I also see them being like a very scary attacker, even though they look a little bit more beefy, like they could do maybe lots of damage. I mean, I hate for one of these guys to come after me with that kind of like helmet and everything that looks like they want to do something to you. But honestly, I would love to see these guys in the game. for tags, space, aliens. Maybe wanted, because I thought I remember something at one point about them kind of living in secrecy. That might have been more of the insectoids, and that's why they disguised themselves as bugs on a alien planet was for hiding. So I might also see giving him wanted, because I'm assuming if you're hiding, that means somebody wants to get you or something. Maybe techie, because they might be a little bit techie, but honestly, just really cool. There was only 4 different figs, I believe, from the whole theme, at least from what I saw, so that's why I included them all 4 here. Kind of could just easily pick it. Probably wouldn't have said pick the bottom right, because that one's, to me, that look is not very iconic for the theme, so probably one of those with the classic helmet, but then it's just kind of a pick of like, okay, which one has maybe the coolest head, coolest colors, stuff like that, which I think they all look. I would love to go back and buy them. And now for number 1, we have the Mars Mission Aliens. Duh. I mean, I run the Mars Mission News Network. Of course, I had to pick these guys. And as for the aliens, you have the alien drone over there to the left, then you have the alien commander to the right of it. There's only 2 different aliens they had for it. Would be curious to see them animate, especially the alien drone, considering it's only 2 pieces. It didn't have like movable arms at all. The bottom part of its arms were actually like the legs. So that was a very interesting thing there. But I think they looked pretty cool. Had a very cool sound. Well, actually, they maybe glow in the game. Over there on the right, I included 2 of the like bigger alien UFO sets to kind of give you an idea of the design aesthetic for them. I think they looked very cool. Had a very unique design, unique color scheme, very cool kind of like mechanics. And I would love to see that featured in some of their attack animations. As for roles, I believe the alien drone would just be an attacker. Maybe, like I said, maybe tagging as support, but probably an attacker that would get buffs from other aliens, because he's just like a basic drone, foot soldier, somebody else commands him. So I'd kind of like to see that actually be represented in some of his stuff. Like just alone, he's terrible, but with other alien figs, he gets better. Almost kind of like LeQuay, he does more damage, but just like a better version of that. Like a very kind of low tier character, but if you're running 4 other aliens, he gets like way better. Maybe has some stuff that kind of buffs him with some of his crystals from the Mars area. Maybe have him toss those around. As for weapons, I definitely would give him the little like staff thing from the Crystalian Conflict game. Same thing for the Alien Commander, because he also had that. I think it would just be very cool to see that built and kind of come back as a classic thing. Maybe also give him the little jetpack thing they had for one of the sets. I thought looked really cool. It's a nice little plug-in piece. As for the Commander, also probably an attacker, just like he just does lots of damage because he's kind of big, beefy. Maybe have him do some like telekinetic kind of stuff. I always thought they looked like they would be able to do some of that, like he could just lift some stuff with his hands. Give him the same staff, maybe a little bit bigger, have him maybe just even hit people with it instead of shooting them, just runs up to them and bashes them in the head. I'd like to also maybe see him being another tank with all of his like black metal stuff, like he could be a little bit beefier. I like to also see him being support, because he's like alien commander, he busts some other people, that might be way too many alien supports. I don't know. As for tags, of course, space, alien, for my own tags, Mars, definitely a mining tag too, because they did some mining as well. I don't know, I'm not going to see if they're giving them wanted, at least for the small drone, because the humans did actually capture them, put them in little pods, so they were kind of wanted to be captured, so wanted to kind of expand that tag out a little bit more. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but I could deal with it. But yeah, I think both of these figs would be very cool. I'd love to see them in the game, though they're not really like figs. I'd be very curious to see how they do them. I think the Alien Commander would be easier to animate than the Alien Drone, but I would love to see them give it a shot. Maybe even work some of that stuff, but like the Alien Drone can't really even move into some of his animations, just make him like very stiff, and that could be kind of funny. But yeah, that's my top 5 picks for aliens to be added into the game. Who would you want? What would you be? man, I can't speak now. What would be your picks for aliens to add in the game? Who would you want to see most? Is there any like ones I missed that you would like to see? Would you still pick Alien Conquest? Throw them in here. I would love to hear back about it. Honestly, I was kind of surprised when I was making this list how kind of few aliens there were for actual space. I believe if you include Alien Conquest, there's only 6 themes that really had, sorry, 7 if you count also insectoids. Although I kind of feel insectoids and UFO, since they're like a follow-up theme, are kind of like the same. There's really not that many of them, which was shocking to me, because I feel like there's lots, but I guess it's kind of like Space Police 3 had all those different unique alien designs, so it kind of feels like there's more of them, because that one added in about like 10 different aliens to LEGO's roster, and of course all the cool stuff from Collectibles, but that will be a later video. So this has been Tor Grippy signing off. Goodbye, have a wonderful day. Bye bye, and thank you for watching.